Hello fam, good morning. Welcome to Piano Lessons with Emmy John. Today, without wasting more time, I'm going to be looking at some beginners piano training lessons you need to know. Now, officially, my 6 months piano lesson has moved to the next level, and I implore all of you to ensure to register for the lesson. I'm going to be taking my time to move from beginner stuffs to beginner intermediate, and then finally to intermediate, and then maybe we'll look at advanced much more later. So for those who are part of the lessons, they really understand all I'm doing now, but I'm going to take my time to bring out tips from there. Now, number one thing as a beginner you must understand, after looking at chord scales, finger placement, exercises, and etc., one thing I implore my students to work on is the inversion, the power of inversion chords. Very important. Let's take the key of C as a case study. Follow me step by step. So I'm going to do my best to be very slow as possible. On the key of C, I'm looking at mainly as beginners now. On the key of C, we have our C as our 1, D as our 2, E as our 3, F as our 4, G as our 5, A as our 6, B as our 7, then back to C as our root. So that gives us major scale. To know more of this exercise, join the training. Now, taking it further, looking at inversion. The concept is, what is an inversion? What is an inversion? One way to think about inversion is simply changing position. So one way I think of inversion is the change of position but still retaining the same chord. It's the same chord but changing of position. I believe everyone should know this. So now, on the key of C, the chord structure for the major diatonic chord of C is C, E, and G. Again, C, E, G. Now, to invert this chord, all I do is to take the C upward. So, take the C to the octave up, which gives me E, G, and C. Remember, we have C, E, G, and C again. So, if I remove the C and I'm taking the C up, I'm going to have E, G, then C. So same position goes up like this. Now for the placement of the finger, some do this. So for this, why some do this? So I'm not going to give you any rule to say you must do this or you must do this. Pick any that works for you. Some do this, some do this. So most time I do this. So it depends. So but let's work with this. So 1, 3, and 5. 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5. Remember, for my beginner lessons, those who are the beginner will understand that as a beginner, bear in mind that your thumb is always your 1. On the left hand, your thumb always remains your 1. So therefore, this is our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 1, 3, and 5. Very important. I'm taking my time to be slow as possible. For all of this, send a message to me and register for the foremost beginner course that's going to take you through everything you need to know on beginners piano course. So let's move. Now we can invert this chord one more time, and we're going to have G, C, E. Remember the same rule, taking the E up. So we have G, C, E. It's just like solving an equation in math. Same formula. So that is that. So let's go back to the roots. C, E, G, E, G, C, G, C, E. Now I know some people might ask, this stuff is not so basic, it's not so simple. Now let me give you where the workload comes in. I want you to be able to do this on all inversion. Let's take it, look at this carefully. On the key of C, our 1 chord, invert, right? The 2 chord, invert. The 3 chord, invert. The 4 chord, invert. The 5 chord, invert. The 6 chord, invert. The 7 chord, invert. Then back to the 1 chord, invert. That's the work. That's 1. Number 2 level of work from here is do it on all keys. If you really want to be grounded on all keys as a beginner, learn to ensure you do this on all keys. I repeat again, ensure to do this exercise on all keys. Let me try it on the key of C sharp and some other keys, and then we'll move to step 2. Now, on the key of C sharp, we're going to have this as our root. So we have C sharp, F, and G sharp. So if I'm taking it up, I'm going to have this. Remember the rule. Same rule. Invert, invert, invert. The 2 chord. Invert, invert, invert. So these are stuffs that really help me. Invert, invert, invert. The 4 chord. Invert, invert, invert. The 5 chord. Invert, invert, invert. The 6 chord. Then invert, invert, invert. The 7 chord, root, invert, invert, invert. Then back to the 1 chord, root, invert, invert, invert. Let's take to one more key on the key of D. So the key of D becomes D, F sharp, and A. So on the key of D, we have this. Now let's invert, invert, invert. Every beginner must know this on all keys. This is why you need to join the training. Take it down to the 2 of D, invert, then invert. For the 3 chord, invert, invert, invert. The 4 chord, invert. That is the root first before inversion, then inversion. The 5th chord, which is A major, root, inversion, inversion. The 6th chord, root, inversion, inversion, inversion. The 7th chord, which is this, inversion, 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 then back to the 1 chord, root, inversion, inversion. And I can keep going up and up and up till we're done with all keys. So you've got to work on this on all keys. Now let me give you the secret. Where does this become helpful? Let's take it back to the key of C sharp. Let's look at C sharp. So let's say I'm playing a very simple song or a simple progression like I love you, Lord. What I did now. So what I just did now is inversion. So instead of using melody as a beginner, so you see, instead of doing beginner stuff, I started to use the inversion. So all I'm doing was inversion. What am I doing? I want to play the simple chord. So what did I do? I simply use inversion chords. Remember, this is the 2 chord. So this is the 2. So I use the 2. So I use the 1 chord. The 4 chord. So instead of doing, so I did. So see this. So that's where the power of inversion comes in. The moment you master your inversion very well, it becomes easier to do what we call grace notes, to do what we call feelings, and to do some other movements you really intend to do. So the power of those movements come from inversion. So see, stuff like this, just still inversion. So simple inversion. So I'm doing 2-1, 2-1. So like re do re do re do re do re do. So inversion. I can even do la sol la sol. So these are inversions. Inversions. So as a beginner, the moment you work on this and get to this level, your playing moves from basics down to a bit advanced. So that's basically where I'm going to stop for now. To know more of this and techniques of how all this more works, join up for my beginner 6 months piano lesson, and let's take your playing to the next level. Emmy John.